In a world swarming with boring, predictable awards shows, what will separate from the rest? Rise above and unite the podcasting realm in a testament to the outstanding achievements of the community. The Amalgamania Podcasting and Entertainment Awards. Podcasters, YouTubers, and Twitch streamers, now is your time. Make your voices heard and submit your program by going to amalga-mania.com for all the details, submission categories, and guidelines. The Amalgamania Podcasting and Entertainment Awards, the summer's biggest blockbuster event. You don't want to miss it.
Strap into the party wagon and hold on to your pizza. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures, issue number 8. Wingnut and Screwloose. Last issue. Patooey! Bye, Cuddly. Else time, turtles, the giant cow head says. Wonderful, says Raphael. Right in the middle of a storm. As an eerie shadow looks on from another rooftop. As the turtles, still dressed in their intergalactic wrestling outfits, look on to New York. Wild Things is the title of this issue. As we see Leonardo's horrid face as he looks up and sees what looks like a giant mutant bat with metal wings above him. Now what, as he throws a rock at the back of Raphael. Hee, quonk, irk. He hits Raph right in the back of the head. You shouldn't have done that, dude. What are you gonna do about it, Flatfoot? Run in place. Next batter up. As he makes a swing for another pass, he reaches back and we see that there's a passenger on top of him. Looks like a giant mosquito. Boss, you missed the skylight. Oh, another tritotilian grenade then, my faithful Screwloose. We're all out of those, boss. How about a rock? Whoa! Duck, guys, says Donnie. Smash! As it smashes through the skylight. Nice throwing, boss. Hey, you can't just leave, says Donatello. Wingnut does as he pleases, Plankton Chips. Gee, what do we do now? We had better get moving, brothers. We don't want to take the rap for this, says Leonardo. Donatello hops down the fire escape. Yeah, we'll take the fire escape to ground level. And then a storm drain down to the sewers. As they open up a storm drain and secretly head down into the sewers. All the rains made the water really high, so now they're in the sewage. Force of this current is amazing. Think of it as a jacuzzi. Not me. I'm too busy thinking about those milkweed and apple core microwave pizzas waiting for us back home. What a cheesehead, says Raph. We're home. They're back, says the TV. Master Splinter, all four of them say. As Splinter turns around, turns off the TV as he's watching. We see a Bruce Lee poster on the wall, an old-fashioned television with rabbit ears. Welcome, my sons. I was just watching, the news. As we see April O'Neil from Channel 6 News come onto the television. They're calling it the worst tropical storm to strike New York metropolitan area in 5 years. Hey, it's April, an anchor. You've been far? Why, yes, Master, we were abducted into space by intergalactic wrestling promoters and forced to wrestle, said Leonardo. Aliens, I see. So, how did you fare? We won. And the lesson learned? Leonardo, Raphael, and Donatello seem kind of puzzled, searching for just something to tell their sensei. All of a sudden, Mikey looks, Hey, check this out! Over 1,000 skylights across the city have been broken tonight. Broken by stones from an unknown hand, April says. Although unable to determine the cause of vandalism, authorities say a full-scale investigation is underway and will be right back after this message from our sponsors. We cut now to a live video feed coming from the top of the Toy Fair building in Midtown Manhattan. There's a blimp floating above a reporter who holds a microphone. Thanks, April. Behind me, you should be able to see the blimp. One of Australia's Good Day blimps here on a promotional tour. As if the weathering in this storm isn't difficult enough, the G'day crew now finds himself terrorized by a crazy bat-like creature. As we see Wingnut, he pops his face into frame and goes, "Do you see my taloned finger? Pay close attention. All eyeballs out there," as he slashes through the side of the blimp with a pop and a rap. A crazed bat-like creature who? Where you go, boss? Have a rock. Who? Uh-oh. As we see that he threw the rock and it crashed into the camera, cutting the video feed. Gee, do you think the authorities have figured out who broke the skylights yet? We've got to stop them. The blimp. Let's use our blimp. Sounds like a plan. Let's go. We're out of here. Yeah. Ah, youth, says Splinter. Next, some time has passed. It says too soon. As we see lightning striking in a storm as the turtle blimp flies through the sky with a crack and a boom. Great idea, Donna Smellowhead. Look down into Central Park. It's the G'day blimp. As we see the blimp has completely flattened out there on the park. And as we see, Raphael continues to talk, and up behind him lurks Wingnut, silently sliding by. But where's Wingnut and Screwloose? We're right here. Nice entrance, boss. Tell me, faithful Screwloose, are we not noble? We sure are, boss. Doesn't that make the plankton chips ignoble? It certainly does, boss. Then can't we take them down? Yeah, boss, something like that. Right, yeah. As he does a swoop backwards, and he does a loop-de-loop, and then all of a sudden flies directly through the blimp with a whoosh, bloop. His metal wings shearing each end as he flies through the other side with a ha 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 ha. A really great idea using the turtle blimp, Don. I mean, really. No problem, Raph. Just watch. See? We have greater maneuverability. Follow them. Now it becomes a glider as the blimp falls to the ground, lifeless and deflated. Wow, it's hard to keep track of them in the dark. As we see, it's almost pitch black where they are. There they are! As he makes a bat outline on top of a building. They're on top of the Empire State Building. The turtles narrowly miss, or so Wingnut and Screwloose thinks, as Michelangelo reaches out with nunchucks and bops them both on the head. Womp womp. Way to go, Mike, says Leo. Lost them again, says Raph. I think I see them, Don. Cut down to the left. As the turtle glider chases after Wingnut. We got him on the run now. Aw, gee, not again. There they are! Don, quick, take the controls. Now they're on top of the World Trade Centers. On my word, brothers. Jump! Eee! As we see a very frightened Wingnut and Screwloose as all the turtles bear down on them. Mike goes first, and Wingnut goes over. Raph is next, who slams into the wings, and Wingnut uses his metal wings as a shield. Then Don, Leo, grab a hold of the end of this rope. Hold tight. As he swings towards the back of Wingnut. All right, Leo. As Leo wraps him up in the coil. So they're both completely wrapped up. Hey, boss, you're crushing me. What? Ah! What's with the fruit bat? Wah! He hates being enslaved, Plankton Chip, says the mosquito. Time to mellow out, boss. Boing! As we see, Screwloose pokes his needle-like nose into the neck of Wingnut to hopefully pacify him. Now that's better. What you say we guys cut a deal? You let us go and we'll promise to see a therapist once a week. I don't think so. What in the world have you guys been up to tonight? Says Leonardo. Let me tell you a story. Things weren't always like this, and they weren't always this way. We see Wingnut and Screwloose laughing. Wingnut is from Hawanu, a planet with a perpetual red night. Wingnut lived happily with his parents. He was their only child. Not long ago, alien invaders came to conquer Honolulu. Wingnut's parents were killed in the beginning of the invasion, as were most of his people. We see alien ships hunting the bat-like people. With all of its females dead, its race is doomed to certain extinction. Maybe now you can understand the source of the boss's insanity. He probably wouldn't have made it this far if it wasn't for me. You? Ha, I bet. Disbelieve all you want, Plankton Chip. I too am from planet Honolulu. My people had a symbiotic relationship with Wingnut's people. They would provide us with blood,
while our bite was their only means of sleep. Together, our people's symbiosis had lasted millions of years. Krang's invaders ended it within hours. Krang?
All the turtles said at once.
Yes, Krang, on another one of his brainless power trips.
Wow, we didn't know Krang was such a heavyweight.
He's the crown prince of jerks. He's an evil brain that hasn't had a heart by which to weigh his consequences of his actions. Wiping out an entire species the way he has and leaving behind what never can be again. Somebody's gotta stop him.
We see that Wingnut's eye pops open, and he uses one of his talons to cut the rope. Roar! With a snap.
And we're on the ones that are gonna scramble his brain like one big egg. About time, boss,
says Screwloose as all the ropes break underneath the wings for Wingnut as he cuts free and then takes off.
Just as soon as we find him, that is. He must be hiding beneath the sky, one of those skylights somewhere. Here, have a wrap, boss.
They're getting away. Quick, everyone, to the glider.
Ha 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 ha. Uh-oh, boss. Who turned out the lights?
Greetings, turtles. It's Cuddly, the cowlick. A giant tongue lapped up Wingnut and Screwloose. It was the giant cow head of Cuddly the cowlick, the intergalactic traveling cow. I've come for Wingnut and Screwloose. You see, it's my fault they came to your world. In my previous departure from Earth, inadvertently I opened a dimensional doorway through which these two passed. My apologies. Ptooey! Here are your uniforms that you left ringside at Stump Arena.
Thanks. Are you taking Wingnut and Screwloose home?
Says Michelangelo. Not home, Michael. They no longer have a home. Mr. Stump has shown an interest in these two, so we're off to Stump Asteroid. Against their will? Says Leonardo. Master Stump has his plans. Else time, turtles.
You think there'd be laws against interdimensional kidnapping?
Says Raphael. From atop one of the two tower buildings. Let's go home, brothers. Going down in just the glider, they swoop into a storm drain and into the sewers. Now, as they're home, once again dressed in their regular outfits with their red, orange, purple, and blue masks.
Home at last, says Leonardo. Feels great to be back in uniform. Yeah, great if you like wearing cowlick saliva, says Raph.
So, says Splinter. Master Splinter is still watching the news, says Leo.
Global existence reduced to 30 minutes every 30 minutes. And what have you learned, Master? I'm not sure, but I know where you can get a good rebate on a certain import car.
Rats, says Michelangelo as he looks into the fridge.
What stresses you, Michelangelo? We're all out of milkweeds and apple cores to put on our microwave pizzas. I think I remember seeing an apple core behind my couch, Mike. Here it is, oh boy!
Ew. Donnie looks like he's about to vomit. Leonardo's not impressed, and Raph just looks like he's melted. And that's the end of issue 8.
It's pizza time.
And now, in a segment that we call Pizza Time, where we discuss any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or pizza-related food, I give you Pizza Time. And now, today's Pizza Time's called Dojo Delight. This pizza's got fresh food servings covered, and it'll satisfy those after-dinner sweet cravings. Double bonus! Let's start off with the ingredients. 1 sheet of frozen puff pastry, thawed. 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt. 2 tablespoons of honey. 1/2 tablespoon of ground cinnamon. 1/4 tablespoon of pure vanilla extract. 1 cup sliced pineapple. 1 cup halved purple grapes. 1 cup sliced kiwis, whole slices or half moons. 1 cup sliced strawberries. 1 tablespoon chopped fresh mint. Lighten it up, dude. Use low-fat, plain Greek yogurt if you don't want to use regular Greek yogurt. Okay, instructions. First, preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Place the pastry sheet on a floured work surface and roll it out to a 12-inch circle. Place the pastry sheet on a pizza pan or a heavy-duty rimmed baking sheet. Prick it all over with the tines of a fork to prevent bubbling. Bake for 10 to 15 minutes or until pastry is golden in color. Remove the pastry from the oven and place it on a wire rack to cool completely in the pan. In a medium bowl, stir together the yogurt, the honey, the cinnamon, and the vanilla. Next, when the crust has cooled to room temperature, spread the yogurt mixture evenly on top and press the fruit into the yogurt in a pattern of your choice. Sprinkle with the mint, slice, and serve. This has been your Dojo Delight Pizza.
Hi, this is Adam, a.k.a. Casey Jones from Casey Jones Livewire, and you're listening to Epic Tales from the Sewers. Time for a knuckle sandwich, punk.
Alright, so let's see what the TMNTpedia tells us about Wingnut and Screwloose. Wingnut, the klutzy-caped vampire bat, quietly hung on his own planet of Hanu, that is, until Krang destroyed it. Saved and sucked into a vortex before his planet exploded, Wingnut ended up on Earth along with Screwloose, a level-headed Huanu mosquito. Wingnut and Screwloose, the action figure, was released in 1990 as part of the fourth wave of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures from Playmates. Described as dingbat buddies who bite baddies, this package shows Wingnut and Screwloose, and it has a quote, "Fangs don't fail me now." The first actual appearance was actually as a villain, working for the Shredder in a mini-comic that came packaged with TMNT cereal. The appearance was closer in color to the Archie version that we're talking about in this issue. He was also featured on the 1987 cartoon series, again working for the Shredder, and his appearance actually matched the action figure. So let's talk about the figure itself. The action figure came packaged with a few accessories. The bat gun, plasma-propelled bat wings, which actually stuck into his back, blood-bursting bat bomb, utility bat belt, and faithful pal Screwloose. So this series is the first series where they started coming with little sidekicks. So I can't say that this was the first one, because at the same time you had Ray Fillet and let's see who else, like some of the other ones from that line that had other little characters with them as well. I think Attila the Frog had one as well. So what's it going for? What can you get a loose wingnut for? So pretty cheap. Most of them seem to be missing the wings though, so close to about $5 loose by himself. With or without wings, it may cost a little bit more. Now, a loose Screwloose is going for $10. So with a complete figure, with all the accessories, it's going between $20 to $30 online. Mint on card, it's going to cost you close to $50. So if you like this story, if you want to find a Wingnut and Screwloose for your own collection, they're out there. You can get them. Before I go, I wanted to send a very special shout out to some supporters of the show. First and foremost, I want to send a shout out to TMNT Adventures on Instagram. Thank you so much for just listening and being a fellow kindred spirit and fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adventures comics. I love what you guys do. JB and Ron over at the Tales from the Podcast. You guys are great. I'm so happy that we're friends and that we get to kind of talk turtles and all that. Ninja Toidles on Instagram. You guys are doing an awesome job. Thanks so much. And Justin and Matt from Geek Life HQ. Thanks a lot, guys, for all the support. All right, thanks, and we'll catch you next time on Epic Tales from the Sewers.
Thank you for listening to the Epic Tales from the Sewers podcast. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. This podcast has no affiliation with Eastman, Laird, IDW Studios, Nickelodeon Studios, Archie Comics, or any other Turtles properties. This podcast is a member of the Epic Sewers Podcast Network. Be sure to check out our other great shows, some turtle-related, some not. Thanks for listening. Epic Tales from the Sewers is recorded by Justin Cooper.
Cowabunga, dudes!
Hey there, this is JB. And if you enjoyed Tales from the Crypt, then check out my show, Tales from the Podcast, where myself, and usually a very special guest, sit down to discuss the TV show, the films, the animated series, as well as the original comics. So check me out every other week on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, and of course at talesfromthepodcast.com.
Thanks for listening, kiddies. You're all a scream.
Terrificon, Connecticut's #1 Comic-Con, is back at Mohegan Sun on July 30th to August 1st. Meet actors and superheroes. Shop for cool stuff. It's 3 days of Comic-Con fun. Terrificon, Connecticut's #1 Comic-Con at Mohegan Sun, July 30th through August 1st. Learn more at Terrificon.com.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. We have very active lifestyles. It's not all wandering the countryside aimlessly or scaring passing motorists. And we all love a good cup of joe. And there's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. Bold, robust, delicious. It's coffee that can wake the dead. With over a dozen different roasts and flavors, Deadly Grounds can satisfy the most finicky of coffee addicts. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.